live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Eye Test Wednesday. It's been a few weeks, but I'm here with Sasha, my wonderful co-founder at Arcanum Ventures, and I'm Carmelo. And yeah, we're going to take another look at a new project that should be launching in the next few days and try to pick it apart with our first observations while we look at it for the very first time. So, without further ado, I guess we could head on over to CryptoRank and pick
Yeah, I
one
think
from
so.
the
So
upcoming launches.
there was one that we saw in particular on CryptoRank, and then as you guys know, we like CryptoRank. It's a good resource for upcoming IDOs, IEOs, and ICOs. And we saw this fun name over here, Orbofi, Obi, with a $800,000 raise and four different notable launch pads, Cetify, Gamify, Engine Starter, and Pools Finance. And I don't really know anything about Orbify. Carmelo, I don't think you really know anything about Orbify, do you?
I mean, just going off the name, anything that ends with "fi" usually means some sort of DeFi platform. So that's
I
about
like
the
the
best guess I
logo
have.
as well. So we're going to dive into Orbify. So let's check it out. And first, what we're going to do is check out what CryptoRank says. So here's a fun rundown. Orbify is the most adopted AI engine in the Web3 space. Wallets. All right.
It's a very bold claim.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't
Already
even
the most
launched yet.
adopted.
We don't know what the product is, but it's the most adopted AI engine. AI engine. I like the sound of that though. I think that's going to be my new nickname or band name. So we've got a number of different fundraising rounds, IDOs upcoming soon, and there's a breakdown here, which is very helpful. But looks like Cetify is the premier public launch pad. But yeah, um, it seems like they've raised over, or they're going to raise over $2 million so far, 2.6 million, with an initial market cap of half a million and a fully diluted valuation of 16 million. So that's pretty reasonable for this market, I think. And yeah, I guess without further ado, we can go ahead and dive in. Carmelo, do you want to make any predictions first on what you think this is about, what you think a token might be about here?
Well, I'm already wrong about it being a DeFi platform. So it says wallets and it says AI. AI engine. I don't know if it's gaming related or if it's. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like we've seen with Chain GPT and Crypto GPT, like a lot of layer twos or actual projects positioning themselves as layer two chains to run their own programs. So I don't know if by engine they mean its own blockchain. It could be its own blockchain. Maybe a marketplace. I'm
You
not
know,
quite
I
sure actually.
predict I've got wallets, I've got AI engine, I've got adoption. So I predict there might be some sort of like AI powered wallet trading platform going on here. This seems to be pretty common lately. There's a lot of talk around AI algorithms that power trading. I know you and I have been contacted by a couple of startups looking for backing here. I think the issue there is that we sometimes AI is thrown around so readily, and if it's being used in the sense of like a trading algorithm, then what are they calling all the other trading algorithms that have been developed the past like several decades? So I guess that's my call. It's going to be fun to see what this is about. Let me know when you're ready. We'll start the clock. Okay, and so the
Yeah, I'm ready.
clock
Let's start that clock.
will start now. Boom. Okay, here's Orbify. Make the jump. Start generating AI generated content for Web3 and games. Create your own AI models, aka factories, and monetize them in crypto. Become a virtual factory owner. Ooh.
All right.
And so
That's a
we've got
mouthful.
a link to
All right, you
connect the
got
wallet
sign
here.
in, Web3 sign in with wallet. Huh. All right. Well, I don't
I
know
don't really know
anything
what
about
that
it
means
yet,
either. The
based
Amazon of
off of
AI
what
content
Pat said.
models for Web3 games and every online community. So, what is a content model? Is it like some sort of framework to create content for your community? Can it be like video, visual, or audio content? Maybe you can shop for different types of content that's like generated by AI. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it could be like a marketplace for custom built AI tools for people to monetize those. Maybe that's what they mean by factory. If so, it's not a bad idea, but I don't know what's powering it, how they vet these tools, if they're worth anything or if they're even valuable. Like a couple of these look kind of
Well,
cheap
we've
right
got
away.
AI generated Grand Theft Auto John Wick over here, and we've got like an H&M catalog over here, and then an avocado chair. So like this is pretty cool already. I could sort of see like the benefit of having some sort of central marketplace for AI generated content, kind of like a Getty Images almost. Like you can go and search for something, and but maybe it's just generated by AI. Maybe it's a little bit more customized and suited towards like your search query. The issue there would be making sure, like with all AI tools, that you're populating the right prompt in there. Hmm.
That's my first thought here is that maybe since one of the biggest barriers for new users for AI tools is like how to structure prompts and how to use it correctly. Maybe people are making hyper specific prompts, creating tools like very specialized tools like just creating GTA artwork for example, and then selling that on this marketplace. I don't know how they monetize it or how the platform takes a cut of that. That's probably where the token comes in, but maybe that's what they mean. Like they're creating very specific tools, so you don't have to have it's kind of intense to have the whole platform and not know how to use it or how to make more specific things. But if you like what you see, then you can make your own versions of these
No,
things.
not at
So
all. And
it's
look,
not a
this
bad
is just
idea, actually.
endless. I mean, it's an endless sea of AI generated content. Much of it looks similar, like what you'd expect for like an AI algorithm to generate like similar images given a certain prompt. But the artwork's really cool. I like it. I'm still dying to understand like what does the token do if they're fundraising with a token? Like what's the business model? There's a lot of different links here, but I'm wondering, should we try and find a white paper and just dive into that?
Yeah, or pitch deck or some sort of, I mean,
Here we
Gitbook,
go. What do you think?
whatever they have on file.
Gitbook or like
I
a white
gotta
paper?
say though, I'm impressed. I'd say Gitbook. I don't know, but I'm impressed that they don't have AI or GPT in the name. Like that's a pretty bold move right now. Everybody's trying to lazily attach AI to their name or their marketing message, and they haven't done that. So
Kudos for that. Here we
kudos
go.
for that.
All right, it's a Gitbook. So, all right, Gitbook for the
Yes.
win. Okay,
All right.
so ultimate AI generated content layer and AI asset factory. So it sounds like it's kind of what we understood it to be. They empower individuals to create AI generated game assets and media assets in seconds with AI. This is really interesting. We actually had a conversation with a team the other day that's using a sort of AI generative platform to create, let's say, like enemies or creatures or maps in their game. So it seems like they're taking this concept and creating it into a business like as a service. So that's interesting. There's a real world use case for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure because it says they're tokenizing these, but I'm not sure what they're tokenizing or if like they're creating NFTs out of these, out of the finished product artwork or the tools themselves. I mean, either way, it makes sense, but I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Here we go. Text to image to NFT. So they are creating images and most likely um, loading them onto the blockchain as an NFT for authentication, true ownership, etc. Image to image. Okay, text to image, image to image. This is interesting. I wonder if what they're going to allow is like the AI to generate an image and you to be the owner of that image on chain and then monetize that image, but then you're not really the creator. Maybe you're just a prompter. So it's kind of a strange economy that they're outlining here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that qualifies as a creator these days. Like if you're the prompter, but what I'm wondering is what's powering this, like what the underlying technology is. Like, are they using an API from Midjourney or ChatGPT or some other tool that we've never heard of? I have a hard time believing that they've, in the last few months, built their own bespoke engine, Web3 native. I'm sure they're using
That's
something
a really good
else, but I'm
question
not sure
because
what.
they're only raising, I think, $2.5 million, which doesn't seem like a whole lot of money to generate or to develop, an AI generative engine. Um, Much less like the industry's most
Yeah.
widely adopted AI generative engine, and they're raising these funds through a token offering. And it sounds like the governance token and utility token will act as an in-app and in-app ecosystem currency. And so it powers the entire production and distribution of all AI generated content. So it's just a payment barrier, it seems like. That's a lot of fancy wording to say that this is a payment barrier. You must use the token to purchase any sort of generative AI content. And that's what's going to funnel demand to it. And I think our viewers understand like how we feel about payment barriers, not the most strong use case for a decentralized token. Something that we see in projects that are trying to sort of like facilitate a fundraise in a way that is just slapping a token onto something. But who knows? Like maybe the tech itself is quite good.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not sure what they're going to govern or if governance is going to be effective from day one at all. But yeah, I tend to agree that the payment barrier is not my favorite thing to see. And I'm trying to think, could this platform function without a token? Like, it already incorporates NFTs, it's already Web3 native. So I think, offering stablecoin payments would be just as good, if not better, and bringing more users, at least initially. Maybe introducing a token further down the line that like has reduced fees like a typical NFT marketplace or an exchange might make more sense. But I'm not sure if I see. I think the weak point here is the OB token, the utility. Everything else looks actually, interesting
It
enough
is
to warrant
interesting. I
deeper
mean,
look so far.
so if you check out here, virtual good factories used to create virtual good factories and used to produce from them. Sounds like they're taking whatever proprietary IP that they have, and then they're gamifying it in a sort of way. Like we've seen this with game economies that take like the resources you can mine from that economy and boils it down to like different nodes that can be owned by token holders or NFT holders, and that creates like micro economies in this sort of platform. But I still don't think it brings a lot of use case for the token. It seems like with that and then the payment barrier, create and earn, uh, governance is the only real primary utility that you absolutely need a decentralized token for. Everything else seems kind of like unnecessary. And so with that being said, like I'm struggling to see the attraction in investing in something like this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, unless you were to go like the equity route, but I think we've talked about this before, but it's totally okay to have the primary use case for a token be fundraising, but you have to be open and clear about that, and you have to have some kind of way to bring value back to your investors that believed in you early on. So, I guess those are the two main questions I have right now: is does this actually need a token, and how will that token value accrual be reflected when this platform makes revenue in its own native token? And also, what is powering this? Like, there's nothing wrong with using an API and using other AI tools. Like, it is a convenient way to bring together these tools and make them easier to use, more approachable, and also to make them more Web3 oriented. I think their target market is, gamers, people building games. So I can't imagine that major gaming studios will ever use this. But there's a lot of indie game builders out there, and there's a huge saturation of games being built.
That's such an annoying alarm. So,
It's time.
with that being said, I kind of agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it looked just real quick on the team. It looked like they had a full team there, which again, 2.6 million. That's not a lot to fund the
Yeah.
runway for a team that big. It'd be interesting to see if those are dedicated team members on LinkedIn, if they've got Orbofi on their profile as full-time employees. But then here on the partners, like it's diving into each of these would be really important as an investor. Understand like are these partnerships meaning that they already have committed customers for this product? Are they going to help these partners build games and provide assets for those games? So that early traction, that's really what we look for with like the team and the partners and even the roadmap. But yeah, that's a fantastic point. And again, Polygon is like the village bicycle of
I
partners. We see that
I just
everywhere.
I was just gonna say that. Is there any project in crypto that is not Polygon or Chainlink partnered? Like those two are
It's kind
everywhere,
of
and
funny.
every
Like
pitch
I
deck.
feel, we've spoken with some guys at Chainlink before, and one of the funny things is like I think a lot of people will label like they're a client of Chainlinks, like they're using one of their technologies, but then they'll call it like a partner. And of course, a partner sounds much better. Like I would love to partner with Chainlink, but partnership in my mind means like there's a lot of back and forth, there's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of value being provided and offered. So like maybe they just have like a VRF or something. But yeah, we're not so sure there. We didn't have any time to dive into the socials. Unfortunately, no time to dive into anything else, but it's an interesting one. I guess we have to give a 10-minute verdict now. What do you think about this one?
Well, just to touch on marketing real quick, like I think my gut says that with those launch pads that they've lined up and the AI nature of this project, they probably have decent marketing following. So I wouldn't worry about that. Like Seed5 is usually pretty good at marketing and incubating the marketing for these. And they probably got some influencers on board because people are hyped for any launches that are happening right now, let alone an AI flavored launch. Um, yeah, those two main questions I would like to explore a little bit deeper if I had time. I think the main question is this interesting enough to keep looking deeper? And I think, yeah, it's one of the better ones. Like I said before, I'm impressed that they aren't heavily marketing the AI aspect of it, even though it's very much AI driven. So you don't see that in the name, and you don't see that in their main messaging, which is interesting. No GPT, no AI. So I'm a fan of that, and it makes me believe that this is a little bit more authentic. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, I would definitely look at this deeper and as an investor and try to see the next steps to engage with the team, look into the investors, the backers, the partners, like you mentioned, the team experience,
Yeah, I
etc.
think that's a pretty good verdict. This one brings up some interesting points around fundraising strategies. So, like in my mind, this is purely a tech play, right? They've got some interesting technology, supposedly AI generative technology that creates artwork and assets, etc. And so this is like one of those big issues when it comes to equity versus token. Like what ownership of the company is the token granting you? Really, the token utility tells us that the token is granting some ownership over like some governance features and some access models and maybe like some value accrual through user demand, but no access, no exposure to the actual IP of the company. And so that's a little bit concerning. But with that said, like there's IP here and maybe there's equity here, and I would love to learn more about the technology because like the underlying tech is really what's valuable here. And regardless of like the business model and the token economy and the structure that they've created, that IP can be recycled or repurposed or reused for some other successful venture or something that can add on to this company should the token economy not really pick up. So that's like what I'm really interested in learning more about. So if I as an investor were to have a call with these guys, I'd want to ask more about the tech, how they developed it, like what funding they used to develop it, what's the development cycle on it, like how far are they, and what are they going to use that 2.5 million for? So definitely worth diving into. I think it's an interesting one, and yeah, kudos again for not plastering AI all over everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So we're on the same page here. I think that's been informative, hopefully, for the audience. And yeah, I guess give us your thoughts below. Maybe we're totally wrong about this, or maybe we hit it the nail right on the head. But yeah, let us know how it goes, and we'll be keeping an eye on the launch in the next few days to see how it goes, see if our gut instincts are accurate. And yeah, let us know what project we should feature next week, keeping in mind the
Yeah, and be sure to
upcoming
like and
launches.
subscribe and do all the things.
Any other words?
And yeah, like
Oh,
I think I'm interested to see how this pans out. We're definitely going to be following this one. There's a few other ones we're checking out too, but yeah, again, make sure you guys give us a little bit of feedback. Let us know what you think we can improve on, but also, again, like Carmelo said, what you would like us to dive into. Until next time, thanks for watching.